Happy Friday. A lot of very good news have happened and came out in literally the last 3 days or so since my last video. And let me remind you what we spoke about in the last video, that a lot of the stuff that I'm going to mention here and what actually happened, I had the expectation that there is a high probability of the fact that it would happen. And that's why I've taken a long trade that I showed you guys. But anyway, let's just get into this. And if you enjoy the updates, guys, like, subscribe, comment down in the comment section for the algorithm, because we are pretty freaking spot on here with everything that is happening. And the movement of Bitcoin, wow, getting back to 108,000, so perfect, so beautiful. Ethereum also kind of retested this. It's still quite weak because the Bitcoin dominance is so powerful, but still looking quite okay. I will tell you exactly what I'm expecting going forward, which again has, in my opinion, high level of probability of happening, but we'll see. And let's understand what happened here, the reason why it actually pumped, and what it means going forward, because there's a lot of good stuff. Like the amount of good stuff that is happening right now in the background. Crypto Twitter is half dead. They're not even talking about what matters the most at this point. Before I get to the news, I've also taken, on my long trade, certainly I've taken a very nice juicy profit. And also when there was a nice opportunity for a quick short trade, right from here, from this very important level, I've taken a quick short trade and just banked a little bit of money for, as I like to say it, for ice cream. And it seems like it triggers people a lot when I say something about ice cream, even though I didn't mean to trigger people. But if we look at trading performance in general, in the last 7 days alone for this small scalping account for fun, made 20K, and the last 60 days, extra 30K. Why not? It's quite stable, and with the amount of trades that we've been taking, again, very small, tiny risk, a lot of break-even trades and stuff. But overall, just with proper approach, anything is possible, and that's basically what, if we consider the risk level, that's 32% gain in like 2 months. And that's super tiny risk, just taking the best possible trades, and when the trade doesn't work, really leave it at break even or take a loss, but just don't keep it. That's just a different type of an approach. Okay, trading lesson out of the way. Again, all the products, trading club, etc. The links to all of it is down in the description of this video. If you want to see our trades in real time and copy the trades of my team in real time, then go and join us if you'd like. Now, moving forward, first of all, Israel agrees to a ceasefire with Iran. So congratulations. The war is, hopefully for the time being, absolutely over. So this is the reason why the markets have pumped. But this is just peanuts. Actually, President Trump, after bombing the shit out of Iran, came out and said that he's considering lifting oil sanctions on Iran, and actually lifting sanctions and helping Iran. You know, I told you that this narrative could shift really fast, considering that Iran just was so devastated from all the attacks it's already struggling financially, so going out and attacking the entire Middle East is just out of reach. But it was just my opinion. I could have been wrong. So anyway, moving on. So that's why this conflict here in the Middle East, for the time being at least, is gone. Russia didn't really do much, so Iran even was trying to make a deal with China. But I don't think that anybody here is interested in World War III. Nobody can afford it, including the United States. Going forward, what is more important though, and I think is even more powerful, but it's kind of in the background, is that US GDP numbers came out, and they came out lower than expected. So GDP is contracting at an increased rate, which means that there is an increased likelihood of rate cuts and stimulation, because this just shows how healthy the US is in general economically. So even though this is bad for people, but it's good for us degens who want our spot portfolios to pump to the moon. Going forward, which is also very powerful, not too many people talk about this, that the U.S. Director of Federal Housing ordered whomever to prepare their businesses to recognize crypto as an asset for mortgage considerations. So the United States government is moving towards actually allowing people using their Bitcoin or whatever amount of different cryptocurrencies to use it as collateral for mortgages. Okay, so if you have Bitcoin and it appreciates over time, you can actually hold it and get a mortgage in the US. Are you ready for what's to come? Because this shit is this is big. Oh, wow. Like, I have very good mood today, honestly. Next thing, but that's not all. I have some good stuff for you today. Trump says he started interviewing candidates to replace Fed Chair Jerome Powell. So right now we're pricing in like 2 rate cuts this year, one maybe in July, as Arabs say, inshallah. But in reality, it doesn't really give us much. We need to cut rates fast, steadily, powerfully, and print money out of thin air and pump our bags and cut taxes for general public of the United States, for those that are not making much money, so they have extra money so they can put it into what? Of course, as always, into the market. So therefore, this is very big news, but that's not all. Going forward, the Federal Reserve has officially ended its reputational risk oversight, reducing restrictions on crypto banking. This is probably one of the biggest things in this video, but it's still not all. Well, we'll move on. I'll show you something else. But here, what it means for this thing is that crypto companies can get banking services more easily. So crypto is no longer debanked, and there is no longer a risk label on crypto companies. So U.S. banks can work with crypto clients without fear of informal backlash from regulators. Absolutely, this is huge. And this could increase liquidity and fiat on and off ramps for exchanges and DeFi platforms. Just like, for example, Evadex, which, by the way, is launching within a couple of weeks right now. The closed mainnet beta testing is launched. So if you're an early supporter and you have the mainnet badge, go test it out. Also signals a more neutral or positive regulatory tone for the Fed towards crypto. This, guys, is absolutely fundamental. And then just a cherry on top. This is a bit older, but this is just a cherry on top for you to paint the picture of what's about to happen. Cynthia Loomis says there is enthusiasm at the White House for Congress to pass the crypto bills, especially the stable coin legislation like the Genius Act. And we spoke about the Genius Act. It basically is the stable coin regulation. But if you dig a bit deeper into it, it means that within time, for now it's all about institutions and stuff, but probably within the next 12 months, it means that banks like Bank of America, JP Morgan, or whatever your favorite bank in the United States is going to be enabling you to directly on your bank account to convert your US dollars into, for example, USDC or just stable coins. This means that this is direct path with no bullshit for retail to buy crypto. So this is absolutely like incredible. Certainly, all these things are in the background because right now there's low liquidity in the market. There is no money. There is no hype. There is nothing. And Bitcoin is sucking up all of the liquidity from the market, which if we take a look at the altcoin season thing, so right now we are just so deep in Bitcoin season. Like, that's why altcoins right now are far undervalued like crazy. And right now, long-term portfolio-wise, it's a good time, in my opinion, to buy altcoins. Not a financial advice, obviously, but I've done quite a few videos on my top altcoin picks. You can go back there, still relevant. And this is pretty much a good place to accumulate for a long term. Because what is going to happen in the next 12 months, it might take some time. There might be more pain. There might be whatever. Because the only thing that is performing well currently is basically Bitcoin. But it just creates an opportunity to accumulate fundamental assets and powerful assets for your portfolio and really change your life. So that's something that I think you should be able to prepare for right now. And certainly you have to prepare your trading account as well. Because before I move on to technicals and before I talk about what I expect from the market, remember that I trade over on Bybit, and Bybit was nice enough to give us up to $30,000 initial deposit bonuses, depending on how much you trade and how big your deposit is, and most importantly, up to 42% discount on trading fees. So if you want to claim these bonuses and trade like a smart person and save on fees, then you can use the link down in the description of this video and create an account. If you already have a Bybit account, you can create a new one with a different form of identification, such as, for example, a driver's license. So moving on to what I expect going forward. Quite frankly, I don't, for me, right now what I'm doing is whenever there is an opportunity in the market, I just accumulate some for my long-term spot portfolio, and a lot of the coins I've already mentioned to you guys previously. It's not a big list, but something very fundamental and powerful and something that has a reason to exist. But I'm looking for short-term opportunities that I'm basically trading up and down with a 42% success rate, by the way, but just does quite well, extra money here and there, why not? What I'm interested in Ethereum, and I'm interested in the level of 2500 and 2300. So these are the extremes here. This is the fair value back gap kind of a thing, if you can consider it that. But again, it's gonna depend on so many factors. What I also care about in Bitcoin right now is the level of like 105,000 and 100,000. Right now, I don't see technically and fundamentally with so much positivity a reason for it to go down to 100K, but well, anything is possible. And certainly I'm very interested in the level of 110, 109 in this vicinity. Currently, we had this fear of Iran and the Middle East war. That is kind of out of the way, and now we're getting back to the fear of inflation and the fear of stagnation and the fear of Fed not cutting rates. So it's possible that we're going to actually play around in this vicinity and just kind of consolidate for some time. I don't see a clear-cut direction for the market just as of yet. Overall this year, I think it's going to be positive. I hope so, because we have so many things that I've mentioned in this video, but I think it's going to be a better time for active trading than anything else. And also, guys, check out this video popping up on the screen. This is something that is going to teach you exactly why 97% of traders and crypto participants in general lose money. Very smart video. I disclose something that I never talk about on social media. Go check it out. Have a good, amazing weekend, and I'll see you next video.